Walk Around family, welcome back to another video. Today we have a 2024 Honda Civic Sport Sedan in Aegean blue with black interior. The Sport is one up from the LX, which is the base model. Above this you have an EX, and then you have a fully loaded Touring. Click the link above. I just recently did a walk around on a Touring. The Sport going to give you full LED headlamps, so high beam, low beam, turn signals, daytime running lights. The housing on the inside of the headlamps is black too to give you a more sportier look. You don't have any fog lights on the Sport. You don't have any fog lights on the LX or EX either. You have to go up to a Touring to get fog lights, but the front bumper is shared throughout all the trim levels, so you still have a cutout for a fog light. Down portion here is all flat black on the grille. You do have a chrome H up front, and this is the 11th generation, so you do have the longer hood, wider windshield, slimmer A-pillars. You have the updated Honda sensing camera that's a little bit more wider compared to the 10th gen. Updated windshield wipers as well. On the side portion over here, you do have gloss black side mirrors, gloss black 18-inch wheels, and the tires are 235s, I believe 40, if I'm mistaken. Let's jump in. Yeah, 235 40 18s. So give you a more wider wheel compared to an LX, and the LX also gets 17s, not 18s. The side mirrors is on a lower position, that way you have better visibility coming from right here, especially looking at corners and that good stuff. You don't have a moonroof on the I'm about to say EX. On the Sport, you have to go up to an EX or Touring to get the moonroof. But just taking a look at the Sport, everything's blacked out. You can see around the windows is all flat black, gloss black mirror, like I said. And it just gives you a nice design, especially if you like an LX, but you just want a little bit more, especially you like the looks of this. This is the way to go, because this also has the 2-liter 4-cylinder non-turbo engine that the LX have. When you go up to an EX or a Touring, you get the 1.5 turbo. So if you're looking for something sporty, but you don't need the turbo and everything, this is the way to go. Come along to the rear, look how beautiful Aegean blue is, especially in the sun. This one is not fully clean, but you get an idea. So you do have a shark fin antenna, shark style fin antenna, and it is body colored in the rear. And you do have your third brake light up here. The tail lights are a combination, so LED for the brake lights. You have regular bulbs for the turn signals, and for the reverse lights, you actually can see them in there. Civic is in chrome, the Honda emblem is in chrome, Sport is in chrome, and from your dealership, you can get those blacked out with accessories as well. One thing that's unique on the rear of the Sport, and that's different in all of the other trim levels, is the exhaust finisher right here. So the LX, the EX, even the Touring don't even get an exhaust finisher that's unique for the Sport. So it is I'm about to say dual. It is a single exhaust. So if you look underneath here, you don't get the dual exhaust. You have to get the 1.5 to get the dual exhaust. Even though the EX and Touring get the 1.5 turbo and they're dual exhaust, you don't get the exposed exhaust tip on a Sport. So that's a nice touch that Honda ended up doing on this guy. Also, capless fuel filler. So actually, I think the Civic is locked. So let me unlock it. See, I can't open this when the Civic is locked, but when you actually unlock it, it allows you to unlock the gas tank, and it is capless. So technically, the gas cap is on the cap itself. You don't have to worry about turning any cap or anything like that. It saves you about 0.10 seconds at the pump now. But when you lock it, locks that door back. Here's the key for the 24 Sport. Honda went with this key back in 22 on the Civics, and everything else is pretty much getting this. This is the new key, Honda key design. So you have lock, you have unlock, you have remote start built in on the fob, and you have your trunk button here. You have a panic button if you can't find your Civic, because I'm sure there's a lot of these on the road. And you do have a emergency key built into the fob. So that's the button right there to take that guy out. So because you have these smart keys, you have smart entry. Now on the LX also has the same fob, but it doesn't have smart entry, so you won't find remote start on an LX. So for an example, if you tap right here, you will lock the door, and then if you put your hand in the door handle, it'll unlock the door for you. Also, on Civics, on the Sports specifically, you don't have blind spot monitoring. If you want the blind spot monitoring on the side mirrors, you actually have to get a EX or Touring to get that guy. So let's jump in here and give you guys an idea of the interior. So the Sport will only come with black interior. So if you want another interior color, you either gotta get an LX, an EX, or in Touring. We're gonna start off with the door here. So up top, it's hard touch plastic. This portion right here is flat black. On a higher trim, it'll probably be gloss black. I love the aluminum look finish on the door handle. And you have cloth material here, and it's okay, it's soft. You have auto up down for the front windows. You hold it for the rear. power locks, power mirrors. You have your trunk release right over here. You have some additional storage right here. So storage, little bottle could probably fit in there. And on the seating itself, so what's unique to the Sport is you have a combination seat. So the outside of the seat is leather, and on the inside is cloth. If you get an LX, the whole seat is cloth. If you get an EX, the whole seat is cloth. If you get a Touring, the whole seat is leather. So if you want a combination, this is the only trim level to give you that. The seating is manual, so you have your lever to go up and down. You have this lever to move this seat back, forward and back, and you have your bar to move the seat forward and back. Same thing on the passenger side too. If you want power, you have to go up to, I believe, a Touring, if I'm not mistaken. So let's get in here, and I'm actually turning it on, but we gotta hear that Honda chime. Welcome to your Honda. Put your foot on the brake, push the button, and you guys could probably see down there, you get Sport pedals on the Sport. The left side here, we got one vent that you can open and close. You have your dimmer for your interior lighting. You also have your shortcut to your safety features. So the picture of a car with a circle right around it, that guy right there, let me get up in there. And then right below that, you have your traction control on and off, and then some blank buttons. And then down here is how you pop open the hood. And remember to pop open the trunk, it's right here on the door. So come back over here, you have the steering wheel. It is leather wrapped on the Sport. If you get an LX, it will be a regular polyurethane material, but if you want the leather material, you have to go up to the Sport from the LX. A little bit gloss black in the middle here, and depending on what trim level you get, this portion right here will be a different color. But I like that it's not too much of gloss black. You have some controls. The left side is going to control your volume, your next track, your previous, your sources, so AM, FM, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, all that good stuff. You have voice command for the Civic. Your phone is going to be Google Assistant or Siri, depending on what phone you have connected to the Civic. And you have this home button here that you can control this side over here, and you have the scroll wheel. So the cluster here is half digital and half analog. If you're familiar with Honda, you're going to be familiar with this display here. So I'm going to actually get up in there so I can show you guys. You have speed and time, you have range and fuel. This way everyone loves to keep it on, so you can see how much miles you have to your tank. You have warning, so this is going to tell you if your hood is open, your door is open, your tire pressure is low, something is going on. You can have nothing, where it's just a tachometer up top. You can customize the display as well. So here you can pretty much choose what you want to see and what you don't want to see. Scatter there. You got settings. This is how you change your door lock settings, your key access settings. TPMS is here too. Your safety feature settings. A little bit of everything is in here. So if you go to door, you could change like your auto door lock and auto unlock and all that good stuff. Safety support is where your safety feature is. So this is how you turn off road departure mitigation or the collision mitigation braking system. So it's the automatic braking. And this is when you get too close to your lane, it'll start to shake the wheel and warn you like, hey, what are you doing? Wake up. It thinks you're falling asleep. You have your oil life here. You have who have their seatbelts on here. And then are you awake enough to drive there? So an easy menu. If you've been watching my videos on these Hondas, then you're going to be very familiar with this setup there. And on the left stalk over here, we have for your headlights. So you have off, auto, parking light, and on. And you do have auto high beam standard. And right side of the display over here is a speedometer, and it's always going to be a speedometer as well. You have your gas tank down below, and those squares will start to go down as you start driving, and your mileage, and you have a digital speedometer right there in the middle. And coming back on the right side over here, you have some of your Honda sensing features. So you have your cruise on and off, cancel, resume set. I'm sure everyone's used to that. You have your adaptive cruise control distance here, and your lane keep assist feature here. When you get a sports sedan, your only option is a CVT transmission. And if you wanted to, you have paddle shifters right behind them, and you can manually shift to get a more sportier drive. Now remember, CVT don't actually have gears, but it can act like it has gears by shifting with the CVT shifter. If you get a hatchback, hatchback sedan, if you get a hatchback sport or sport touring, you can get a 6-speed manual transmission, unless you buy an SI sedan that's only manual transmission and the Type R. So on the right side here is your wiper. So you have mist, you have off, intermediate, low, and high. Real simple, easy to use. And you saw when I turn it on, the push button start button is over here. It's red, letting you know that the vehicle is on. Coming along here, you have your 7-inch touchscreen display. And I think this is a very good display to have for not your fully loaded models, but for your lower and mid trims, because it is touchscreen and you still have physical knobs. It's just not a full screen where you can't have no buttons, or you have to dive in there, look for heated seats, and like it's very traditional, very simple. And if you don't like the way how cars are going with their infotainment systems, besides the tablet display, I know a lot of people prefer to have the screen in the dash, but this is just going to make it look a little bit more modern over time. When this is used in the next 5 years, it won't look as outdated as if the screen was in the dash. I mean, technology is moving so fast. But you have a volume knob, you have a tuning knob, and you have a shortcut. So you have next track, previous, you have your phone controls right down there as well. You have a radio shortcut, you have media. And media is going to allow you to go from Bluetooth to USB. And when you plug your phone in for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you have the connection right down there. If you want wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, you have to get a Touring, which gives you the bigger 9-inch display, and that's the only model to get that. So if you get an LX, Sport, or EX, you have to plug your phone in. But it's nice that even the LX, the plain Jane, gets Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and your back key and menu. Real simple. There's no home button because you're not going through screens. You're probably going to be using Apple CarPlay and Android Auto mostly, and that's pretty much it. So right below that, you have the new air vent design that's been in the Civic since 22. And ever since the Civic got this, everything else got it. So the Core, the HRV, the CRV, like everything is following this design. I know Pilot got his own thing, but the bigger SUVs usually have their own type of interior. Right below that, you have your climate control. The Sport will give you a single zone climate control. So the driver, passenger have to have the same temperature, which is over here. You go up to the EX to get the dual zone, but at least it's digital, and you can set to exactly what temperature you want, which is really nice. Fan speed here, your different modes here, air circulation, front defrost, heated back glass, AC on and off. Real simple. If you want heated seats, you have to go up to an EX as well. Right down below, you have your one USB-A port with a power outlet next to it. That's where you plug your phone in for Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You have your shifter here that is leather wrapped, and for your transmission, park, reverse, neutral, drive, like normal. The Sport will give you drive modes. So when you actually switch the little toggle right there, you have Sport, normal, and ECON. ECON is going to give you the best gas. Normal won't turn the car down too much, but it won't give you the most power either. And Sport is going to give you maximum power. But normal Econ is probably what you want to drive, and then you're going to be racing people in this thing. You have electronic parking brake here. You have your auto stop engine. You have the engine auto stop button here. Almost said that backwards. You have brake hold too. So while you're in drive, if you have your foot on the brakes, you turn this on, but your seatbelt have to be on. You can take your foot off the brake, and it will hold your brake while you're in drive. Even your brake lights behind you will be on. I love that they use this material, this texture here, than gloss black, because you do have gloss black right up here. But at least this is going to wear a lot better over time than if this were gloss black. Cup holders here. You can fit different size cups. You have some storage right down there. And the armrest here is soft, nice to the touch. And you have storage here with a little tray, coin tray. No connections in here. Everything is all over here, which is the one USB and the 112 outlet. And to be honest, that's pretty much what you need in a Sport. You do have your glove box over here, and it's not lockable, but it is a decent size. So fit all your goodies in there. And you can see the passenger door mimics the driver door. Taking a look at the thing again with the half leather, half cloth. And then looking up here, you don't have an auto dimming rear view mirror. It's a normal mirror where you have to flip it so no one's blinding you at night. But you do get LED lighting for the interior, so that's a nice touch for the Sport. Because remember, the Sport is supposed to be a lower trim, but one up from the base. And you have your mirror here with no light. When you go up to a higher trim level, they'll give you a light there. And then looking up there, no moonroof as well. But since you don't have a moonroof, you do have better headroom compared to an EX or Touring. We're going to jump into the rear seat. So you can see the rear doors mimic the driver door. Hard touch up here, soft on the armrest. Door handle, you do get a tweeter speaker in there. You get storage in there. You can either throw a bottle in there or throw some garbage in there, or however. The rear seats are half leather and cloth in the middle as well. You just don't get that same design, but you get the leather in the middle, so that's a nice touch that they did. Added that back here because they really didn't have to. So sitting back here, behind the driver's seat, there is no storage back here. There's no storage behind the passenger. No air vents back here, and no USB A's or C's or anything, no connections. I don't even think you can even add that as an option. Honda didn't have to make it standard, but they should make it at least an option. But the cabin is kind of small where you really don't need vents back here, but I think vents is just a premium thing in Honda's eyes. I'm not too sure. But you can see the cockpit up here again. Beautiful interior. This is going to age you very well. It's already been 3 years of this interior and it still looks nice. And there's no center armrest here to pull down for a cup holder. But that's pretty much it. Get your little lighting up there. We're going to jump out of here and go take a look at the trunk. Taking a look at the trunk here, you do have a button on here and it will pop for you. And pretty spacious. This Civic does have a protection package like I told you, so that does come with this rubber cargo tray, but your Civic would just come with carpet. And then let's actually look under the floor. So I can show you guys the spare tire with all your tools. Real simple. The rear seats do fold down, but it's not 60/40. It's pretty much one size. Not one size, but the whole thing falls down. And you have the button right there to pull that down. I believe you have to go up to an EX to get the split, or maybe no, I think it's EX, or probably Touring, one of those.
All right, here we are on the 2024 Honda Civic Sedan trim walk. Ain't that crazy? We already getting 24 Civics. Insane. Being that we did a walk around on the Sport, we're gonna focus on the Sport. So the Civic Sport Sedan adds to or replace LX features. Remember, this is the next package up from an LX. So the Sport is going to give you 3 drive modes: ECON, normal, and Sport. Also, you get the power shifters for the CVT transmission, remote engine start. So I forgot how far you can actually start it up from, but you can start the car from the key fob, and it'll actually make your interior temperature about 72 degrees. That way you can use this feature in the summertime, and you can use it in the wintertime. It'll stay on for about 10 minutes. And don't worry, no one can just open the door and drive off, because with this feature, you have to lock the car first and then hold that circle. Also, this feature is only to warm the car up. So when you get into the vehicle, you still got to put your foot on the brakes and push the button to fully turn it on. So I like that. That's standard on the Sport. You get the 18-inch gloss black alloy wheels, because the LX get hubcaps. So if you don't want hubcaps, you don't want steel wheels with hubcaps, there you go. You get the 235 40 18 all-season tires. You get smart entry with walkaway auto lock. So when you turn off the vehicle, you turn off the Civic, and you walk away and you don't lock the doors, and if you have this feature on, it'll automatically detect that the key is leaving the vehicle and lock the doors automatically. You have the gloss black power side mirrors. You have the chrome exhaust finisher. You have the leather wrap steering wheel and shift knob, combination seats, sport pedals, and you do get a better sound system than the LX. You get a 180 watt audio system with 8 speakers. On the LX, you get a 4-speaker 160 watt system. So definitely an upgrade there. And the LX come with so much standard features, so it looks like the Sport don't add a lot, but it's a good value from the Sport. So let's actually go and build one. And here we are for the lineup. It's all the trim levels. Like I said, LX, Sport, EX, and Touring. We're gonna jump into the Sport, and this guy come with a CVT only. Like I said, unless you get the SI or Type R or a hatchback, you have manual available. No, well, manual available in the hatchbacks, and then the 6-speed is only available on SI and Type R. So you make 158 horsepower from the 2-liter 4-cylinder, 138 foot-pound of torque. And you're getting around 30 city, 37 highway, 33 combined, which is excellent gas mileage for a vehicle in its class, and also for it not being a hybrid. So very fuel efficient, and hill start assist, all that good stuff. Let's jump out of here. Look at the colors. So Aegean blue metallic is actually the color that we walked around, and you don't pay more for it. It's not a premium color price. You have crystal black pearl. I'm not going to show you guys the interior because black is the only interior color that you get. You have lunar silver metallic. You have meteorite gray metallic. You got rally red. You have platinum white pearl, which is $455 more. And you have the popular sonic gray pearl, which is also $455 more. So I'm going to jump back into the Aegean blue because I love how the Aegean blue looks. So if the base price is $25,550, and without no premium color, destination handling, you're looking at $26,645. Now, I know the MSRP on sports has definitely gone up from when the 22s first came out, especially when they introduced this trim level back in 2019, or was it 2020 in the 10 gens? They made the sport. So price of everything is just up. You know, cars, house, clothes, food, everything, you name it. You know, it is what it is. Let's jump back in here and look at some accessories. So, you know, we always are looking at accessories. I'm going to start with interior because I want to see what you can add. Kind of, let me see, and nothing. Besides the illuminated door sill, you can't add any electronics besides the engine block heater. So yeah, so USB-C is not available as a add-on on the Civic. You can't add an auto dimming rear view mirror. You just got to get a Touring that has that array. So let's jump into the exterior. So of course you have like the decklit spoiler, body side molding, all the basic stuff, door visors. You have the blacked out emblems like I was telling you about before, HBD sticker. Not sure why you would add the HBD sticker by itself, but Honda give you that option. I guarantee you once this generation is gone and they're doing the 12th generation, the HBD stuff will go up in value. I'm letting you know that now. I have an 8 gen Civic and they didn't have HPD, they had HFP, and anything HFP from 8 generation, if you could find one, costs an arm and a leg for one. It's crazy, like the lips and the spoilers and all that good stuff. But on the body, all this HPD stuff, they're gonna be worth some money in the future. I'm telling you that right now. So that's pretty much it for the Sport. Real simple, in my opinion. This is the perfect first car. This is the perfect for if you're looking just for a little A to B, and the LX is just too basic. You don't want hubcaps. You want to look a little bit nicer, but you don't really care about the turbo motor. You don't care about moonroof and heated seats and stuff like that. Sport is definitely the way to go. Like, just look at it. It looks nice. I love that they give you a chrome tip, which is cool. You know, you don't get that no other trim level. And even the interior, the leather steering wheel is a big deal. The shift knob, the sport pedals, you know, the combination seats. It's just a nice package. You get Honda Sensing standard. You get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto standard. You know, auto headlights. I mean, full LED headlights, high beam, low beam, turn signals. It's a good package. So I'm gonna end everything here. Drop a comment below if you're shopping for one. Did you pick one up? Or you plan on getting one? Do you hate this? Why you didn't buy one? Always open to talk. If you have any questions, just drop a comment below. I'm gonna end everything here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna catch you in the next walk around.